Are you about to be a podcast guest and you want to know how to make the most of your opportunity? If so, you've come to the right place. That is exactly what this episode is about. So stick around to the end. I'm going to let you know what you need to do to make the most of that great opportunity. Welcome to Magnetic Pod. If you are looking to attract your soul clients while doing the work you love, this show is for you. Hi, I'm Olivia D'Souza. I'm a podcast manager and content repurposing specialist. The Magnetic Pod Show is about attracting your soul pod of clients through podcasting. It will also include things that can be applied to other areas of your marketing strategy too. Hit subscribe to join me in calling in the people we are here to help. Let's make a massive impact.
I am here and I'm ready to be brave. Cannot miss me, I'll stand on every stage. I'm available for my destiny to reach my people.
So before I dive into it, remember to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the tips and tricks on how to get more leads for your business, especially through podcasting. Okay, let's get into it. Now, in the previous episode of this podcast, I talked about how to pitch to be a podcast guest. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely go back, because being a podcast guest is an incredible opportunity to leverage being in front of other people's audiences and extending your reach. So if you're going to be a podcast guest, communication is key, and that is communication with the podcast host so that you make sure that you're on the same page and that you can deliver all the value that you can when you are actually being interviewed. So you want clarity, you want to deliver value, and you want to see through their calls to actions and ways that people can work with you or reach out to you or get onto your mailing list. And it also is a good idea to have a story. So let's get into that. So first off, if you are lucky enough to be invited to be a podcast guest, make sure you have a conversation through email or a phone call or whichever, to get clear on the purpose of the interview. Let them know that you want to provide value to their listeners and ask them what kind of value you want to be delivered, and let them know what topics you cover and what you would like to focus on. And you can let them know if you've got any courses or any services or anything in particular that you would like to mention. You can get clarity on whether or not that's okay to mention before you dive in. Even if they don't want you to plug a particular course, you can still make the most of your opportunity. So the key really to making the most of your opportunity is to absolutely deliver value. So what does that mean? Well, think about in terms of helping the listener with what it is that they want. Why are they tuning in? Maybe it's because they have a problem they are looking for an answer to. It's because they want a certain desire and trying to find out how to get there, or they're looking for entertainment, or a combination. So whichever it is, get clear on what problem, desire, or thing that you solve, that you provide the solution to, and that's what you need to do in the podcast. Make sure you are providing a solution to the listener. Now, when you do that, you want to seed into your conversation ways that you can bring people into your world. So lead magnets are key. If you're talking about something and you have something that you can give away that is free, that is of value, that relates to what you're talking about, then that weaves into the conversation very naturally. What you want to do is you want to absolutely deliver value. That is key. You want people to listen to what you have to say, and at the end of it, have a problem solved, have a solution, have a light at the end of the tunnel. You want to have genuinely helped the people that are listening. So you want to make sure that you do that. You also want to seed into that ways that people can reach out to you to either work with you or get into your world in a way that you can contact them. So like an email address. So weave that into the conversation. So how do you weave that into the conversation? Well, I have a template that shows you how to design an episode and how you can weave it into a conversation. How do you make sure that you cover off the points that you want to cover off, and naturally weaving lead magnets and calls to action? I have a template that does just that And I am doing it right now as an example. So in the show notes, I have an episode planning template. So make sure you go there and download that, and you can use that in how you structure the things that you talk about. You can keep it in mind that, when I talk about this, I will also mention the lead magnet that helps with that issue. And then you'll give the podcast host the link for people to be able to download it. And then you have people on your email list, which is the most valuable thing that you can possibly build, because you can be on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and all the places, and quite regularly people get their accounts suddenly closed or hacked or whatever. You've got to have an email list and a way to reach out to people, something that you own and something that you can use to create relationships and ultimately get the sales that you need for your business. Another thing that's good to do is to put your story in there. So rather than just only saying what the things that you do, you might also have a bit of a backstory that you'd like to put in there about how you came to do what you do, why you love it, so that people can connect with you on a personal basis as well. So basically, if you are lucky enough to be a guest on a podcast, you are getting in front of a really highly targeted audience, and that is why I love podcasts so much for business and for lead generation. If you manage to do that, well done, keep going, go get more podcast guests. The other thing I would definitely say, obviously, is if you are in front of podcast listeners, the best thing would be if you had a podcast yourself. This is like the best way to promote your own podcast, is to be in front of people who listen to podcasts, because people don't just listen to one podcast only. They are people who like podcasts. So ideally, it would be great if you had a podcast, and you would definitely plug that and make sure that that link was given in the show notes. Most people would be happy to do that for you. So the fact that podcasts give you the opportunity to be in front of a really highly targeted audience is just incredible. And so this is why this is an area that I love so much, and that I love to help entrepreneurs become profitable from podcasting and create leads for their business. So if that's something you need help with, guidance and like a done-for-you service, or maybe just the coaching, reach out to me. My website is livymusicmedia.com. All my links and everything are in the show notes, so make sure you go to that. Okay, so basically, in summary, get clarity on what you're going to be talking about and how you can deliver value before the actual interview starts. And then make sure you do focus on really genuinely delivering value, solving a problem, helping people. Seed into that ways that people can reach out to you, particularly if you give them something for free, which can be a PDF or a downloadable or a meditation or anything that you've got that's helpful, so that you can get their email address. That is the most effective way. So make sure you get that in there. That helps you deliver value anyway, and that's what you're there to do. Share your story and who you are. Be genuine, be you. So that's how to make the most of being a podcast guest. If you've got any questions, send me a DM via Instagram. I'm Livy Music Media, so it's LIVVI Music Media. You can find me there, send me a DM, ask me any questions you've got. I'm also on LinkedIn, and also make sure you join the Magnetic Pod Facebook group, because there you can communicate with me, let me know what you want future episodes to be about, and I will see you there. See you next episode. Bye.
I am here and I'm ready to be brave. Cannot miss me, I'll stand on every stage. I'm available for my destiny to reach my people. Gonna be a star, so if you pass on me, that's a shame for you, but
Hello, it's Livy here. Have you ever wondered about what the key elements are that make a podcast truly stand out? Or maybe you're thinking about starting your own special podcast and feel a bit overwhelmed and don't know where to start? Well, I have something for you. Introducing the Ultimate Podcast Checklist. Da, 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 da. It's a step-by-step guide that covers everything from the initial brainstorming to advanced growth strategies. It's the perfect companion for both new and seasoned podcasters. And the best part, it's absolutely free. Da, 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 da.
To grab your copy, simply head to the show notes of this episode and you will find a direct link there, and then away you go. Remember, every podcast started with that initial spark and the right resource, so let the ultimate podcasting checklist be yours.